Broadhead debates are pretty funny when you think about it. Imagine going on and on about the best way to kill something, where they can both easily get the job done. Nah, on a real note, I can see why it's still talked about a lot. There's a lot of factors when it comes to different broadheads. Even between other fixed broadheads compared to each other by the same company, there could still be some major differences. Some might have either better flight, better penetration, something else entirely. A lot of this stuff does matter when it comes to getting to the field and letting it rip. Today I want to go over the topic of mechanical versus fixed broadheads and see the difference between the two for myself. See which one is better off for you as a hunter in the coming season. Let's get started. Accuracy is pretty crucial when it comes to shooting off an arrow, and the broadhead can impact this as well. Both mechanical and fixed broadheads try to be as accurate as possible. From my experience, the smaller and simpler the broadhead is, the more accurate, more aerodynamic it can be. And that usually turns out to be a mechanical broadhead more times than not. However, that's ignoring a huge factor: tuning. Tuning plays a huge part of your bow hunting adventures. You could buy a mechanical broadhead all you want, and even though you have to do less tuning with your bow, you'll still need to do it in general. In this case, mechanical does make it easier for you to get away with not tuning your bow as much. If you do an excellent job of tuning your bow with a fixed broadhead, it'll practically be the same difference in all honesty. Even though mechanical has an advantage slightly, I really would call it even, because if you just put in the extra work, they'll more or less fly the same. The meat of the discussion, but to be honest, it's not much of a discussion to be had. On average, most fixed broadheads will have stronger penetration power, and if they do hit bone, they have more of a likelihood not to get completely ruined by the hit. The main issues with mechanical broadheads in this department is that they lose some of their kinetic energy opening their blades, and that causes them to lose out on some of the penetration they need. Now let's be honest, even though it'll lose some energy, it'll still have a good likelihood of passing through the animal. However, it's still losing this department because of that special gimmick it has. The cutting diameter portion matters more than you think it would. Mechanical broadheads have a pretty steep advantage in this department, and it's not even close. The blades in the mechanical broadheads are typically longer and wider than like the ones of a regular fixed broadhead, and that usually allows extra space for the broadhead to cut through. This will help a lot in cases when you're slightly off with your shot placement with hitting a vital point. It's even better when you need to follow a blood trail too. Sometimes it's hard to find the ammo after they run off, but having the blades of a mechanical broadhead allow for more leakage for you to follow makes it a lot easier. Fixed broadheads don't have this advantage, so it would definitely be an advantage for mechanical broadheads for this department. This is arguably a combination of factors, but you should choose a broadhead you can count on. If a broadhead has to work to deploy when it hits the target, there's a chance it won't deploy correctly or that it won't deploy at all. We have all heard about the horror stories of an expandable that veered off when it hit its mark. Now factor in accuracy, penetration, cutting diameter, which factors are the most important for choosing a dependable broadhead. For many of us, the opportunity to shoot deer in the fall is what keeps us sane throughout the rest of the year. So choose a broadhead that blends the factors to create a lethal combination that leads to stories of successes and meat in the freezer. For me, dependability relies on consistency and performance. So broadheads that hit the target without having to open, hit the target accurately, and penetrate through and through are the ones that I would choose. Plain and simple, a broadhead you can trust is the broadhead you should choose. If you have had great experience using a fixed or mechanical one in the past, why change a thing? If you had great success using a specific type of brand or type of broadhead in general, don't change that either. I'd also like to hear about that too in the comments section. I lean more towards like fixed broadheads myself, but I could be convinced every now and then to use a mechanical one. I think you should, you can still experiment with both of them, even if you like gotta be more predominantly using one over the other. But that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day.